Hi guys, I'm doing a very short video because I want to show you something very odd that I found out during my process. This is a little, sort of an illustrated log. It's not really an art journal, it's where I write down the things that I did that day, and I started that only this year. So you know, it's pretty new. I've always wanted to do it. I've never done it, but then I saw one so fine by Karin Schrama that I really like to see. She's got a video up on Vimeo. I'll put a link below this video for you so you can check it out. She's got a whole year and she leaves through that, so it's really great. So I thought I was going to do it, and I bought exactly the same little diary that she had. Only she told me now that the paper this year is a lot poorer in quality than the paper that she had, and that has led to this discovery. Because this paper is so thin, I've actually done some tests with all kinds of pens, black pens, because this is a very small area. This is only 3.5 centimeters, this is 7 centimeters, so you have to draw really small, and therefore I often use outlines because that really helps clarify a little drawing like this, which is miniature. So I wanted to have a good pen for it, and I tried out really many pens, but as you can see, many pens, they bled. But then I realized that there is this Pilot Frixion. I also tried gel pens, of which I felt the glaze forms a film on top of the paper, so it doesn't bleed through too much, only when you put a thick layer on it. The unit pen does bleed through, but what I do is I try to lay down a little layer of paint, but not too much, because the point will get clotted. So I had the Frixion, but there's one big downside of doing art pages with a Pilot Frixion. I've actually got a black refill in it, so it's a blue pen, black refill. I drew everything on this page with a Pilot Frixion, and I actually drew and wrote it twice, because this ink, it may be, you may be able to erase it with the back side of this pen, which can be useful at some occasions. I've used that. But there is another queer thing. I work in this because the paper is so thin. I work in it with gouache. This is a Winsor & Newton set that I added either gum arabic to or oxgall, I don't remember, to keep it a little bit more reusable once dry, so it doesn't crackle too much like that one, although some colors still do, obviously. But this is gouache. And what I do is, because I want to work fast, I dry my paint with a heat gun. So what happens, I'm going to show you, when you put a heat gun, I'll turn it on so it can warm up on the Pilot Frixion ink. Well, just warming up the heat gun, and it's actually funny, but you can understand that I had to redo my first spread. I think it's warm enough. So look what happens when you heat Pilot Frixion ink. Magic, because poof, it's gone, it disappears. This is secret magic ink. And I think that's the reason why this ink doesn't bleed through. It's magic ink. It comes from the land of fairy tales. Now we've uncovered their secret. So Pilot, I'm really curious where you get this from and what realms you got this from, but it's quite funny. Only when you do use it to draw, and when you want to dry your paints, do not use a heat gun, but just take a little time to let it dry, to dry naturally. So I wanted to share this with you. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.